Hi guys, my name is Flemming Schmidt. How can we add more, share more, invite more, create more positivity in life? That's the question I'm trying to answer in this podcast. My name is Flemming Schmidt. I'm your host and welcome to the Positive Outcomes Show. Now, if you have followed this show from the beginning, thank you for that. And if not, if you're just jumping on, awesome. I salute you and welcome to the show. I'm trying to create awareness about how to invite and create or share more positivity because I believe that's something that we all need. There was a little hiccup yesterday. I didn't post anything yesterday. I didn't add a new episode yesterday, and the reason for that is that life happened, and I mean that happens to all of us. But another thing that happened was that I was hit by a wall of kind of discouragement. I hit the wall of doubting myself and doubting my steps, and I believe that's a very kind of a human thing to do. The challenge, however, is how do you get out of that bubble of doubt, or how do you get out of that bubble of vacuum where you're just spinning around inside of your head, thinking, analyzing, and doubting everything that you do, if it's the right thing, should it be this or should it be that, and how do I gain focus and how do I reconnect to what matters? Now, that is a process, I think that happens to everyone. Have you ever had that feeling of being in that position where you just felt lost, or you're doubting yourself and doubting the moves that you're doing, or just plainly are insecure about where do you want to go next, or figuring out how do I regain focus, or how do I rethink or restructure myself so that this won't happen again. And yes, we can put in plans, we can put in some actions that are here to help you get out of that limbo. And for me, I did that. And the way that it works is a friend of mine shared a tool with me. It's called a Scrum, where you have kind of 3 pieces or 3 boxes of a paper on your wall or a whiteboard, but make 3 boxes. One is the to-do thing box, the next is the process box, and the last is the done box. And the way that it works is that you have the to-do. You can write posters of things, headlines you need to do. Don't detail it out. If it's a headline that kind of branches out into 3 different areas, make that headline, but make each area for its own post-it, right? For the 3 branches. Hope that makes sense. So make those, put those thoughts and ideas for the next week or 2 on post-its and put them on the to-do list. And when you're starting to work again, you can put those post-its, move them from the to-do list over in the process box or in progress. And then you can start working on that. And that could help you to focus on the task at hand so that you don't get distracted. Because if you don't have a plan, if you are not structured, all of those post-its representing thoughts, they are spinning around in your head, and you might get distracted from all of them instead of just focusing on one task at a time. Multitasking, it's not a thing. It doesn't exist. I can't remember who said this. I think it was Anders Henderson. Anyways, huge shout out to a very gifted man. He said multitasking doesn't exist. All it is, it's a piece of commercial or advertising that there is chaos in your life. So multitasking doesn't exist. All it does, it's advertising that there is chaos in your life. If you don't agree, try this image. A dad or a mom with a infant on the arm, kind of crying, right? At the same time, you're talking on the phone, and you're also stirring in the pot because you're making dinner. So you're kind of multitasking, kind of the concept or the idea of it, right? But if you kind of have that image in your mind that you have this baby on your shoulder, you're talking on the phone, and you're stirring in a pot on the stove at the same time. You're doing kind of three things at once, right? Right. But if you ask yourself, where is your focus? Is it on the child? Is it on the conversation on the phone? Or is it on the dinner making? Where is your focus? Focus at one thing at a time. It's super important to do one thing at a time, and the other things will be done later on. Because here, go back to the tool of the Scrum. Once you're once you're done with the task that's in progress, you move that piece of paper over to the board with the done things, and then you move on to the next one. It's a way to keep you focused doing your work, but it's also a way to reconnect to a task that needs to be done or that matters. The other aspect or the other tool that I use to reconnect is that I take a step back mentally, sometimes even physically, and I start to think about, that's wrong. I don't think, right? Because, I do think, but that's not what I meant. I take a step back and I notice how I feel. Because I need to get my emotion evolved into the process of what I'm doing. Because if I'm emotionally invested, my reasoning for why I'm doing what I'm doing becomes stronger. Why do I chase the dream that I'm chasing? What is the emotional connection? And if that is a huge or a powerful emotional connection, kind of emotional anchor, you can take that anchor and you can place it, hook it in the ground or whatever, and you can pull yourself back towards the things that matter. You can place multiple of these emotional anchors, but you're able to pull you back to the things that matter. And the thing that helped me kind of to readjust and refocus and refine my strength, my emotional anchors, were the people that I'm surrounding myself with are, in some ways, they are great people, but they are not focused or sharing the passion that I'm sharing about personal growth. So I was had to rethink about who do I spend the most time with. People who are, nice to hang out with, or people who are actually supporting the challenges that I'm facing, or standing in the same way with the same challenges. All right, so that for me has been the thing that has pulled me back on track, is to surround yourself with the right kind of people, getting reacquainted with your emotional attachment to the goal that you have, not thinking with your mind. Because if you're thinking with your mind, you're often thinking with your wallet. So you have to notice how it feels, and you have to be emotionally invested in the task that you have. And that could again reconnect you to the things that matter. What is it that made you choose to go this path? Was it just your own joy of the journey and you want to share that with people? Awesome. That's great. Good for you. Or do you want to serve a higher purpose and be teaching those findings to others and help them become a better version of themselves? I do this on this podcast here. I do this on my social media platform, and I have a and building a community, a crowd, a positive crowd, it's called. And you are welcome to join. Find us on Facebook. It's Positive Crowd, basically. And in there, we share positivity aspects and practices and how you can add, share, and invite more positivity into life. So, thank you for listening. I'll be going again. Hope to hear from you soon. If not, let's connect on Facebook. Find me there, Flemming Schmidt, or on Instagram, Flemming J. Schmidt, and let's connect. Hopefully you tune in again tomorrow, and I will be sharing a new episode there. All right, take care and have a great day.